Hey Wastelanders, long time no hear. So I'm just gonna do a video of this real steel Phasma, but this is the premium version of the Phasma. It's in titanium everything except for the the blade, of course, and it has a thumb stud. But the thumb stud is not easy to open for me because I made a mistake early on and I took it apart and I put some oil in there, and I don't think it needs oil to flip open. And besides that, I had trouble flipping it open because I always put my finger on the lock bar. I'll put it on the clip even and it won't flip open. So yeah, if I think about it, I could flip it open. Let me take this apart and clean it up and get all the oil out of there, and make it a nice flipper again, hopefully. It has a lot of gunk in there. I think that's from pocket time and what have you. I pushed a little Allen wrench through this size, and I found a bunch of gunk in there. I think a bunch of lint. So it's pretty easy to take apart if you guys don't know, are familiar with Poltergeist design. He uses these big screws he usually uses 2 screws to fasten his knives together, and he's been big on using phosphor bronze. He doesn't usually use that's what the phosphor bronze sits on. I don't know what this is. It's like a steel washer, but it's black. Anyway, so he doesn't use bearings in any of his designs, I believe. Maybe he uses some. I don't think the Best Tech one, he may have used some bearings, but for the phosphor bronze washers or the real steel knives, that he doesn't use it, I think. I could be wrong. You can see that on this lip. And you can see that on the bottom of this hole. I didn't know that. I forgot that. He uses it on the back too. So this is a pretty thin piece of titanium, and it's weight relief. It's a pretty light knife. I'm thinking about selling this. If anybody's interested, let me know. I may sell it. I'm really thinking hard about selling it to get some money for some knives that I've prepaid for. And yeah, let me clean this. Let me put some oil on these, alcohol, and get to cleaning this oil off. So I haven't did a video in probably maybe 10 days. I've been kind of on a vacation. But I haven't went anywhere. I just been taking some time for myself and doing other things not related to knives. So I'm slowly probably going to get back into it. I'll be releasing a couple videos this weekend. Well, not this weekend. I guess it's Monday. This week feels like a weekend to me because I've been doing nothing, basically. Just taking time to reflect and job hunt. Yeah, I don't have a job, and I need to find a job, so I'm trying hard to find a job. I just want all these oil cleaned out of this pivot. I'll clean up the knife on the outside a little bit later when I get it back together, but for now I'm just trying to get the oil off the inside. And this is a fancy barrel spacer that fits around the screw. It's just it's kind of neat. It's gold. I believe they come in different colors sometimes. I've seen them use gold and maybe blue. I like the gold especially. Let me clean up this screws. I don't know what these screws are called. If you guys know, let me know. It's just a really cool way of putting the knife together, if you ask me. This video may run extra long, depending on how soon I get it back together. And let me put this to the side for a moment. I got out wet dry 2000 grit. I use to clean up phosphor bronze washers. I pretty much make them shiny always, but I'm not gonna go overboard on this. I'm just gonna go lightly and make sure I get all any grit or oil off there. But usually I've been known to like spend 10 or 15 minutes polishing these washers to perfection, and it really doesn't matter, because if you just like maybe spend a couple minutes on there, it's just usually good enough. It's a little bit shinier than it was. I don't know if you guys can tell. Most of the bronze color goes away and turns shiny. Lack of a better word for it. I usually go in a circular motion. I'm probably sanding my fingerprints off too, or smoothing them out. Oh, yeah, that's good enough. All right, let's put this back together. This needs to I believe the screws don't have, I think the Phasma free, the budget version of this, they don't have a D-shaped pivot on there. I don't think, because primarily I want the screws to lay parallel to the body. It has a cutout too for the pivot, or not the pivot, the back end, and you can see that lip. It's on the bottom. It's easy to lock it into place. And let's put these washers, like black washers, down over the pivot. Insert the phosphor bronze over that. I don't know what this hole is in it for. I don't know what that it's used for, but it's pretty odd that it even has that hole. Maybe it has something to do with I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, put that together wrong. The phosphor bronze goes on here first, and then this. And all right. This is a little bit trickier to get back together because the lock bar keeps wanting to push the parts apart. So let's see if I can make sure it's locked in position on the back end first. And let's all right, and let's put this front end together. Okay, so you see it center, but let's see if there's any movement on the blade. Now it's pretty. Ooh, I think it's. Yeah, I think it's too tight. Let's loosen up a bit. I may have to like put some blue Loctite in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. That feels pretty good. It's still centered. It's just a little bit of movement because it's just a little. Yeah, still a little tight. I think. All right, let's make sure I have my finger off the lock bar. Okay. Like I said, this is a bit tricky for me. I always seem to have my finger on the lock bar, or I try to space it back here on that clip, on the back of the clip, but I always end up here, and I always end up pushing the lock bar, and it makes it hard to open. And this has a little thumb stud. I'll get the original for you guys so you can see the I'm putting my finger on the lock bar, so like I need to keep it away. So this finger is the culprit, the middle finger. I'll like, if I hold my fingers like this, I can get it open. If I put this finger there, I always tend to put it on the pocket clip instead of the frame. So I just always have to remember to hold it away so I can open it. Yeah. So this is, the original wasn't meant to be flipped out, so I regretted it ever since, because I almost always fuck it up with the thumb stud because of this pocket clip and putting my finger on there. So I don't know. So I think it flips better, especially with no oil in there, and I cleaned it up. So, and you can see it's centered. Really cool knife, really cool design. I love this knife. Let me pause it and show you guys the Phasma. Okay, I'm back. So I went and got the The first Phasma free that I bought, this is a budget version because it has steel scales, and it's pretty heavy compared to this. I brought out the scale to show you the difference. I hope it shows a great difference because it feels kind of heavy. Okay. Okay. This is the premium version, the Phasma. It's at 3.46 ounces. This is at 4.8 ounces, so it's quite a bit different, or quite a maybe 1.2 ounces heavier than the premium all titanium version. Anyway, you can see it matches up perfectly, but as you can see, this is a one-hand opener. If you could get it flip out without putting your finger on the clip like I do, and this is a two-handed opener, so it has a fuller, but it's kind of a nail nick fuller. If you can probably stick your nail in there if you have long nails. I don't have long nails, and flip it out, but I just I grip it out and open it, and it's in D2, by the way, too. It's a D2 steel, and I don't mind that. I like it. I don't mind it. I knew what I was getting myself into when I bought it. I knew it was a two-handed opener. I believe they released this way because they wanted to release it to the European audience, because you have to open it with two hands, and they added a thumb stud version too initially on this too. But I think, I may be wrong, but I think the Phasma Free was the more popular version of it. It's just a really, really cool looking blade shape. Really, it screams premium to me, but it's not premium. So I believe I don't know how much I paid for it. Maybe $50 to $60 originally. It's definitely a budget knife, but it's a good looking one, a good looking budget knife. But obviously the titanium looks much better. I should if I keep this, I should get the titanium, maybe anodize some color, but I kind of like it plain for some reason. Anyway, it's totally matches up. It's just like they took the design and made a titanium version. They didn't like enhance it, or they didn't like make a fancy clip, a fancy milled clip. They just made a titanium deep carry clip like this. Yeah, I like it. You know, this is a limited edition. Let me see. It's an M390 steel, and it's number 259. I don't remember how many was made. I'm going to say maybe 300, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up I'll look that up if I want to sell it. Yeah, like I said, if you want to just make sure you place your finger on the back of there, and don't place this finger at all, and you can get it to flip out. I touched it again. It's hard to not touch the knife with this middle finger for some reason. It's just hard for me. It's like I just have to make sure I grip it out there, and yeah. I've been not flipping it so long. I'm probably I probably have to practice because it was totally unflippable. Like, it was so gunked up with oil, and I couldn't flip it. So now I can flip it, but I need to keep my finger away from there. So anyway, let's end this video. It's very long. Take care, Wastelanders.